Hello, everybody. Brian here from quantlabs.net. I wanted to go over the results just came in from Stack Overflow on the technology survey. They had about 90,000 people go through it, and there's a bunch of highlights here. I'm not going to go over who answered it, where they're from. I mean, it really focuses on the US market. So, what are the more popular languages used according um, to uh, Stack Overflow. So the first one mostly uses JavaScript, 63%, HTML, CSS, 53%. Number three was Python at 49%, SQL, 48%. And where it matters for the rest of us is 30.55% for Java, C Sharp 27%, C++ 22%, and C at 19%. So that's the overall top languages. Now on TOB, I think from what I'm seeing here, the top two languages on TOB, TIOBE, would be Python and C for them. That's their monthly report. So um, they also did a measurement of what languages are most inspiring. The ones that came up as top choice, and I think a lot of HFT firms will be looking in this or parts of it, is Rust. Um, so it's a fairly newer language that's really gaining steam quite a bit. Part of the Linux kernel has been rewritten in Rust outside of C. Remember, it was also previously written in C++, but Linux decided to rewrite it back in C. So now Rust as well. So that is an important uh, language that you should know about. The other ones that picked up, which I don't really know anything really about, Elixir and Zig. Um, also, there's also a mention here there is certainly not a direct correlation between salaries and the admiration factor, since we see Python, TypeScript, HTML, CSS all have admiration scores of 60%, but only marginally better annual salaries than overall median. So there's that. Um, the other thing I want to talk about, I'm going to put this is our second article here. I think it's more important is regarding AI. So we know that AI is big, and the title of this article is again from StackOverflow.blog. Hypernaut AI's benefits for developers explored in the 2023 Develop Survey. So people want to know, is this a rabbit hole when you get into AI, or do professionals trust AI? This is primarily ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot, two most popular tools out there. Um, so right now, 39% somewhat trust the AI. Only 3% trust it, or 2.8% trust it highly. Uh, there's no neither or distrust at 30%, and then it gets in somewhat distrust at 21, highly distrust at 5. So from what I'm seeing here, I've worked with AI. I think I don't know which tool it is that's in the back end. A lot of these companies I'm working with will get uh, enterprise licenses for ChatGPT, but you wouldn't know it because it's got a different interface. So you don't know what's the engine is for the AI. But from what I've seen, and I'm just doing it for blogging and content writing, really, it's very, very good. It's unique, but some of the factors are somewhat going back to 2020 facts and doesn't source out the latest fact. Depends upon the topic you're asking about. So as a result, you do have to really watch what the resulting data is. Now, if it's code, you have to worry about that. So, for instance, with Chat GPT, I think it is. Excuse me. You have the in my case Pine script for trading view. So you can use uh, a generator, an AI generator, code generator for um, Pine script. Now, from my experience with it, it will give you the base, but you got to spend a bit of time on converting it and tweaking the code to get it working. Now the question is it reliable, especially in the charting if it's on something like TradingView? My answer is most likely yes, and I do that because it generates data, it generates charting, and so far it's been pretty good on the code generated portion. So there's that. Um, Next question is Curie. Can never say this word. Curiouser and Curiouser. Why use AI tools at all? This is a good question. The benefit, most will say, and I do believe this wholeheartedly, as we're on the first iteration of this, is to increase productivity. Without a doubt, to do any kind of content, it could take you hours. You can bang it out in virtually seconds. And then for me, I just overlay it with another AI called Grammarly to correct it. Works fine. Been doing it for weeks. You probably never even noticed if you're on my email list or on my blogs. Speed up learning. Yeah, if it's code, I guess you can reverse engineer it if it's accurate. That's a 25% greater efficiency. I'm not sure on that yet. 25%. I do think it's going to get better and it'll get obviously more efficient. Improve accuracy in coding. I can't really say. I'm only basing on chat on PineScript for now. 13% improved calibration. Well, it's just me, right? So AI tools next year. This is another one. It's part of the survey. Think about how your workflow and process changes work over time. Um, and how similar or different are you to anticipate your workflow to be 1 year from now as a result of AI tools you're currently using? Majority of people will list it as somewhat different. And this covers majority of it will be either somewhat different or very different. And this concerns writing code, debugging and getting help, documenting code. That's a big one. Learning about a code base, um, testing code, project planning, committing and reviewing code, deployment and monitoring, collaborative with teammates. So obviously they expect big changes over the next year from what it generates right now. And as I said, it's probably going to get better. I think it went from Chat GPT, let's say 3.5, and now 4. I don't do a lot of it, so I'm just using the public interface to it. But it's pretty good. Now, when it comes to trading, um, some people are reporting that it does very good. I've seen news items where it's using Chat GPT to do a prediction on AI. It really depends upon the data that's out there so that ChatGPT can go out and capture it and load it up. And it's really a glorified database, really. And then it will make an assessment on that. So the more data, the better, the more accurate it'll be. If it's a very scant amount of data, it's more you won't get a result at all, or it's kind of useless. So it really depends upon how specific, how popular your questions are as well. But as more people use it, obviously it will get better. Um, it's like Tesla, right? Like, yeah, remember Tesla, Elon Musk did originally fund OpenAI. Somewhere it sounds like he got screwed over somehow and he went out and bought a bunch of GPUs. Now he's starting his own operation. But you got to remember for Tesla that every car out there is sending data back to the mothership servers. and it's collecting data all the time. So, for instance, as one scenario I've heard, if you miss a payment on your car, guess what? Your car won't start. So that could probably, as an example, get AI generated. So that's one of those scary conditions where it's not going to be your friend. In terms of trading, it's still way too early. I mean, in terms of what I've seen, when it comes to prediction, there's two applications that are very difficult to predict. One is linguistics, the language, but I think that's been pretty well mastered by Google now and other ones as well. They're pretty good at it, from let's say 5, 10 years ago. And the other one's the capital markets. So um, yeah, I mean that's just the way it goes with that, and something to consider. Also, that's pretty well the surveys from Stack Overflow. So if you want to increase your pay raise, Rust is something definitely to look at. Um, C++ seems, well, it's not dropping off, but it's specifically for, as I said, HFT, algo trading. It's still up there. Java, obviously, there's a lot of enterprise level code out, legacy code. That's why it's out there. But the newer stuff is definitely JavaScript, and if you want to call it a programming language, HTML and CSS. So, but many people may be offended by that when I used to say JavaScript. Well, I'm not going to get in that, but just leave it at that. What more can I tell you? If you like this, as usual, I got my in the description. You can sign up to my email list. Thanks for those that signed up from yesterday and today. I'm thinking of doing more of these because the engagement's been pretty good with this type of format. I would put these um, websites on the screen, but for whatever reason, YouTube likes these kind of, I got to deal with me in my face and not the screen. I guess it's because of the podcasting boom or the podcasting frenzy out there. So they like to see people talk. So that's where it's at. So again, it's quantlabs.net/books. Get on my email list. I've already put up one topic if you're into trading. Another thing I should mention is, as I said quite a few times in videos, you have to be very, very careful what you say here on YouTube. No politics, no being a little naughty and all that. You will get, as maybe some of you already know, that many, many channels get suppressed based upon what they talk about. So you got to be nice and positive and all that fun stuff. So yeah, but on the other hand, I do have a private chat server. It's free. Just go to quantlabs.info, and get registered there. You can register as a guest, but just to check it out, I would strongly encourage you to register on it with a password. It can be anything you want. Nobody's tracking it. But I do from time to time get rid of the guest profiles, the temporary people that log in without a password. So be aware of that. So there's some private talk you can have there. And the big factor with that one is the news, because in there I update every couple, about at least twice a day, news in the areas of programming. There can be trading bot code examples in there of other people. Crypto trading's the big one. Uh, Different types of mainstream trading, stock trading as an example. There's another separate room for Forex as well. It's very powerful, that um, chat, that's trading server or chat server. So I'd encourage you to go on there, talk among yourselves. If I'd encourage that in the general room. Let me know what you think. That's again quantlabs.info. We shall talk to you later. Have a good day.